Now, it's possible that you have not seen me in a very long time. And, that's okay. It was back in the days of the beginnings of interwebs when I started my cooking show, Bailey's Choice, at my old apartment. I would say it was probably about 10 years ago. This is a house, not an apartment. Um, I have slightly better, well, no, I have a much better computer, but the webcam's still kind of crappy. And this is not intended to be, like it's super viral. Like, no one's going to watch it. But hey, if you want to learn to cook, and if you are like me and you can't sleep, sometimes cooking is the best remedy. It's actually how I got sober. So since you're new to me, what this is an oven. I know you know what an oven is, guys. Give me credit. I don't really have a good angle in here. My cameraman quit. That's a joke. I don't have a cameraman. I'm in the kitchen cooking at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. From here on in, I cook without a script. See if anything comes of it instead of my old shit. That's pretty good, actually. I wonder if I could just do this whole recipe to rent. Oh, no, because then YouTube would say there's a copyright claim because I'm using a tune. Although they probably wouldn't recognize it, right? Oh, this is ibuprofen. I'm not cooking with ibuprofen. But you could. If you had a headache, I'm sure you could. I don't know. Look, here's what I'm making. I'm making one of my specialties. It is called French onion meatloaf, which means I need, but here's what I'm out of, breadcrumbs. How do you make meatloaf without breadcrumbs, you ask? Well, here's where you're going to be super glad you not chimed in. What's it called? You viewed? I mean, no one is. No one will. But pretend that people did. I am going to make breadcrumbs out of this gluten-free corn masa. It's normally called, this says maseca, but it's corn flour. It's instant corn masa to prepare delicious tortillas. Well, that explains a lot. I tried to make empanadas with it the other day and it didn't work out. I am eyeballing everything. I took the term from Rachel Ray. I promise you she did not invent it. I just made way too much. Excuse me. That beep was my oven saying that it is now heated to, oh, stop. You're going to show people my gut. And then they won't cook my food. All right, look, so that is 2.5 cups, roughly, of the masa meal. So, although I'm super funny and I want you to be able to see me, I also want you to be able to see what I'm cooking because it's kind of the point. Oh, and can I do a plug, YouTube? This is a company called Green Life. It's like the biggest cooking sheet I've ever. So I'm 5'5", and this takes up, well, 1, 2, 3.5 of these, 3.5 of these. So it's like 2 feet, right? No, 1.5 feet. What's that times? So 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 1.5 feet of this, and it's like ceramic, not what have you. All right. Yes, I get it. So you should be doing the same amount of water ratio-wise. I'm just at my sink. It's over here. To the amount of corn masa you put in it. What I'm doing is corn masa, water. You need eggs. If you don't know this, if you already know it, then that's fine. I had to learn it by watching a YouTube. So look at how crumbly. It just gets real crumbly. It doesn't get like flour really. And that's fine. I'm gonna use my hands, so forgive me. Because sometimes you need to add more water. But it doesn't need eggs or anything like that. So it's probably vegan. You can look at the ingredients, but corn, flour, water, vegan and gluten-free. Hello, 2019. I don't know if it's organic or not, so I guess so I need just the tiniest bit more water, but like not much, because I'm just gonna make this into small chunks. And then I'm gonna bake it for like 10 minutes. My oven is set to 375. So it will make something similar to like what looks like a dough, but it's super, super crumbly. See that? I forgot to add seasoning to it, but that's okay. There's enough seasoning in my meatloaf. So there's 1 ball, 2 balls. Get it? 1 ball, 2 balls. Because I made 2 balls. All right. So now I'm going to use that crumbling to my advantage. So have you ever seen feta cheese? Of course you've seen feta cheese. Let's see. Can you see this? I'll never win. Okay. So I'm just going to crumble it. I'm going to make crumbles. Made sure that the water was infused so it would actually be bread, not just cooked flour. Well, it's not really bread. It's like empanadas. Well, not empanadas, but it's like chips, tortillas. So what I'm going to do is bake these, and then I'm going to grind them in my food processor as finely as possible and essentially make, breadcrumbs. So this looks like a plate of, it kind of looks like a plate of feta cheese that is gray, like grayish, which you would say, well, why wouldn't you say like blue cheese or something? Well, because there's no blue in it. It's like blue. It's like gray. Sometimes people. Okay. All right. Look at this. Just a plate. Oh, you can't see it. I'll show you. Spreading it out. Some's finer than others. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I just want it to cook fast. Oh, in my sink, I always do a soak. I'll give you a tour once we get this in. Although we can probably start. Okay. Oh. So it's just like a sheet of, crumbled. It's not just like a sheet of crumbled mesa. It is a sheet of crumbled masa. Mesa is table, bro. I have a pound of ground beef. We're going to get to the fun stuff now. I need a bigger bowl, and I need to take off my Michael Kors watch. Do you see me doing all these plugs? Like with the most pathetic hope ever that YouTube will go, hey, you know what? This is such a high quality video, because clearly it's not. But man, you can really sell a brand. No, I can't. The people who are gonna buy Michael Kors watches are certainly not gonna buy them because they've seen me attempt to cook a meatloaf at 1:22 Eastern Standard Time a.m. But you know what? It'll get me through the day, aka night, aka whatever, so I can get some sleep and have a little bit of sanity. Whoop! I plopped it down. See that? I plopped it. This is ground beef. Great. A little wet. My hands are gonna get greasy. I hate this part. This one you actually need to see. You don't need to see me, so you can listen because I'm funny. Well, you know what? Sometimes I'm funny. Sometimes I'm devastating. Sometimes I'm devastatingly funny, meaning funny at the expense of others. I'm gonna add 2 eggs. So yes, hey, look, I'm not calling you a dummy. Okay, I'm gonna put you on a platform of some sort. Look at this. This is that same company, Green Life. No, I'm not leaving the site. F off. Okay, touch screen. This is a smaller, like 12-inch, 12 and a half, 14-inch, possibly 6. I can't math. I went to school for theater. I should probably say I went to school for cooking since I'm cooking, but and went to school for theater. But Interesting story while I add my 2 eggs and other ingredients, which I will tell you as I go. You need to be able to see what I'm doing. That platform didn't work. I'm going to put you back on the coffee maker. You got to lose my vanity for a second. I want to see like how to make a meatloaf. Do it. Well, I could make it real flat, but that, you know what? That's a decision for later, not for now. Life's going to go on. Okay, so can't zoom on this thing. I've got 2 eggs and ground beef. I am not going to use, so I have this theory. I am going to use 2 things of mushrooms because it's a French onion. French onion, it used to be called mushroom Swiss last time, like the last few times I made it, and then it seemed more kind of like a French dip. It's had a lot of names, but it's the same GD thing. I do like pepper though, so let me find some pepper, a little bit of garlic, and then obviously onion. I need to buy some onion powder. Someone put that in my notes, please. Thank you. What's this? Italian seasoning? No. Cayenne pepper? I don't really need it. All right. French onion. There you are. I got French onion soup mix. This is all I need as far as the seasoning outside of like the just enhancing the onion. Actually, I'm not even going to use the garlic. I'm just going to use onion powder to enhance the onion. I'm not going to put fresh onions in this, though I could, because it's like French onion soup. And those onions are boiled for a long time. Okay. I'm going to do the rest of this onion powder because you can never season meatloaf too much. But that was really only about a tablespoon. That's all I had left anyway. Okay, so far so good. I need to get something like these garbages. These garbages that this garbage can go in. How big are my garbages so far? All right. Oh my God, it smells like tea tree oil. It smells like absolute 1,000,000,000% tea tree oil in my cabinet. I did not hiccup because I'm drunk. I don't drink. Oh, right. I was going to tell you the funny story. So, okay, I've got a pound of ground beef, 2 eggs, 1 package of French onion seasoning. I'm going to add some black pepper because I love spicy. Black pepper is not super spicy, but it's spicy enough to help me feel better about myself and also not enough to kill people who have spice allergies. I'm making this a bit impromptu, if you couldn't tell. So I am gonna have to use cheddar jack instead of like mozzarella, or I know it's usually Swiss, but Swiss is too expensive and I'm poor. I know the Michael Kors watch might make you think I'm not, but my ex-boyfriend bought that for me, and he was from Mexico, which doesn't mean anything, but could explain why I'm. Okay, we broke up like 2 years ago, so I'm not still fixated on him, although now I've talked about him for probably a minute and a half, and I haven't stopped, so that ticker keeps going. And I've been making Mexican food, like only Mexican fare, for the last 2 months, so maybe subconsciously I miss him. Hey, I'm about to sneeze because of the pepper. Please don't be offended. Meanwhile, I've opened these 2 cans of little mushrooms. Well, the mushrooms are fine. Excuse me, I sneezed away from the food, don't worry. They're not little mushrooms, they're little cans. Obviously, you could use fresh, but you're making a meatloaf, so unless it's something that, like, you're supporting a local market and they don't have, like, however you want to do it is fine, but it's really a waste of good mushrooms because they're more for texture than anything else. You can't taste them once you get it over. I'm telling you that out of experience. Same with the onions. Like, it's cool for authenticity. All they do is add a crunch that doesn't really inspire faith. I should check these. Oh, they got some time. They've got probably a solid 5 minutes. So I need those to get the rest in. But I guess what I could do now is just finish putting it all together. So a big, oh no. Oh wait, there it is. I thought I ran out of soy sauce, and it's like a huge ingredient. Wait. Okay. So, do you know how to make an au jus? Because I do. So you know how like meatloafs will have like a ketchup base, often a ketchup base, whatever the F is called, ketchup base sauce. There we go. Ketchup base sauce. I still never told you that story I was going to tell you. I know I'm the worst. I'm the worst hostess. Let's come over to my pan a bit. I probably shouldn't put you on the other. Ooh, but I could put you here. You can see my au jus being made. Well, that's a much better angle for you, huh? So it's a, this is called a frying pan. Now you know. That is what, 2 tablespoons? It tells me on this thing. Not fully. It's a tablespoon and a half, but I'll probably end up needing more. So let's just go ahead and do that other half, so that it's a full 2 tablespoons. So if you want to make this recipe and you fuck it up, you can't say that I did. And then once you melt that a little bit, you gotta get a whisk. And don't put anything else in this. Don't put a roux, guys. Don't put flour. Even gluten-free flour. Let it be its own thing. It's gonna turn into a magical au jus sauce. Okay? And when I'm telling you this, I understand that you may just not want to. Oh, while that's melting, I'm going to real quick just mash my egg yolks and try to kind of hide them somewhere within this, so that the automatic thing is not that this cooks the eggs, because that would sort of defeat the purpose of life. Butter. Could you do this with olive oil? Or something healthier than butter? It's definitely possible, I'm sure. I don't know what you would use. I've always done it this way. I know that it would affect the flavor. It might just taste like oily soy sauce. Okay, now my soy, that was a 1/4 cup of soy to 2 teaspoons of butter. So just do this, it's gonna come together, and you'll see. Eek. I'm getting as close as I can without like burning the poop out of my computer. Do you see how it's coming together? Like, you can tell the bubbles. There's some science behind this, but I don't know. But it's becoming one sauce. It smells really good. It smells like au jus or like French onion soup. Because really, if you wanted to make this French onion soup, all you gotta do is throw onions in it. And so see, as it cools down, it's like kind of a thick au jus sauce now. It won't keep these bubbles. You can't see. I'm terrible at showing you. So I'm pouring that into my mixture. I'm trusting that I have enough cold ingredients to not melt my hands when I'm about to mix it. And I put my I am gonna make my meatloaf in that other thing. Okay. So now I'm just gonna mix it. So this is our time to chat. I have a stainless steel fridge I got when I got this house, and let me tell you something. I hate stainless steel. I hate it. Because see all this? I get lots of like stuff from friends that is lovely that I want to like post on my wall. Like not my wall. Oh my God, Facebook has taken over the world. And now it's not even like taking over the world. It's still impacting all of our decisions. I guess that wasn't a very good plug for Facebook, so they won't be hiring me anytime soon. I'm like, this feels too mushy, but there's no breadcrumbs in it, so that would be a good reason. So at least I'm gonna get all these ingredients, in mixed nicely. It smells awesome. The au jus and the French onion soup like mix. That's really all you need. You don't have to do the pepper. You don't have to do the onion powder. I do it just to give a tad bit of richness and to enhance the onion flavor in the French onion soup mix. But you do you, bro. You can put whatever you want. Okay, that should be perfect. I definitely don't need more than 2 eggs. It's almost a meatloaf. I say almost. It's one of the main ingredients is the binder. And that might not work. This whole thing might be a failure. And I would just say, hey, welcome to my life. Here's the good thing about failing often. Yeah, I won't say often because that's dramatic and overstatement. But to have failed enough in your life to get used to it, or not to get used to it, but to not be always dramatically affected by it, I think is important. All right, let's check on our corn because otherwise we're just gonna be stuck here together and you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this person? Also, no one's watching. How do I share this? I'm not sharing on Facebook, I'll tell you that. It sounds like I really hate Facebook. I don't mean that. It's not what ow. Okay, so you know what the big ones, here's the experiment. Ready, guys? I'm excited for it, but also very ready for it to fail. So some of these just went into I can't show you because they'll fall. But they're cooked. I can do it this way so you can see what they look like. They don't look much different. They're just more like kind of the color of tortillas. They don't look any different in color from. Ow! Here's the thing. Don't just touch the pan that just came out of a 375 degree oven. Okay, here's what I'm doing, guys. Don't think I'm leaving. Well, I'll take you over to see it, but I'm gonna put these into my food processor. I use a small one because I can't afford a big one, but that's okay. Use it all the time. I love it. And then I'm gonna use a skimmer, even though whatever, to get as much of this in here as possible. Grind them up finely. It's all cooked, so that's good. They're already crumbles, so I feel like this should work. It has no reason not to. Right? Right. No one is watching. Not particularly funny. Ah! Sometimes they'll go in your drawer. Okay, sorry, it's gonna be loud. All right, so guys, for all intents and purposes, looks like breadcrumbs, right? Let's start by putting this much in there and see if, because I don't have the breadcrumb canister that I would normally be using, so I can't tell. I'm gonna be really happy if this works. Oh, I know it smells like it's burning because not that many fell out. It's like 5. Get over yourselves. These are gonna be really hot. I can do it. Cold, hot. Oh, yeah, I can totally do it. Mixing it in like you would any breadcrumbs in it. Oh my gosh, guys, it's working. I like to experiment live so that like if I come up with something that works really well, it's awesome and we discover it together. And if I try something and it doesn't work, so I'm gonna use the rest of those breadcrumbs real quick, but this totally worked. If I try something that doesn't work, then at least you're seeing it honestly. And we're not going, hey, consultant expert, come back to us and tell us how it should be. We're just, oh, yeah, you're on the other side. I'm doing the same thing I just did. So just give me a second. The good news about if you put too many breadcrumbs in and dry it out too much, which I don't think is going to happen with this, but you can just add another egg, and then all will be well. Okay. Oh, I can touch this thing now. Is it ceramic? Okay, here we go. Last set. I am so happy with how this worked. I'll tell you what, I got a lot of gluten-free. So that made 2 whole batches of this. I don't know why I'm surprised. Like it made as much as the masa dough I put in it, or the masa flour I put in it. So I don't know if you need to call it masa flour. I think that's included in the name masa. I still never told you the story about why I started the cooking show forever ago and why I cook weird hours. But I was like a bad alcoholic. I've been sober for coming up 10 years. And so I used all of that. That ended up being a good amount. And the thing that got me through, like, my early sobriety, I went to AA meetings, of course, and worked the steps and all of that. But the thing that really got me through was I found that I personally needed to do something productive, like every day, very productive. And while cooking may not seem like it's the most productive thing in the universe, it is, creative, because I'm a creative guy, run a theater company, went to school for acting. We talked about this. All right, so look at this. This is, well, it doesn't look cute, but it definitely did what the meatloaf is supposed to do. So I'm gonna actually not use the cool pan. I'm gonna put this in my meatloaf pan. Let me just give a quick wash to my hands. I don't think it's officially called a meatloaf pan. I think it's called like a, what's it called? A bread pan? This thing. So my oven is still set to 375. I never stopped it from being set to that. I'm going to spray this with canola oil spray so all the cheese and stuff doesn't stick. We're going to pop this meatloaf in here. So just for your reference, since I have gone over about 8 million things. Oh, hey, Rachel Ray, and your 30-minute meals. Guess what? If I didn't have to make masa, this would be done. So you can F right off. Yeah, I said that, Rachel Ray. Yeah. I used to like Rachel Ray, and I don't anymore. So flatten, you can't see what I'm doing. You're like, well, I like it, Rachel Ray, at least showing me. So this has 1 pound of ground beef. It has about 2.5 cups of breadcrumbs made from masa. It has cheddar inside it, the cheddar jack combo, right? It's got 1 package of French onion soup mix. 2 little cans of mushrooms, 2 eggs, some black pepper, and some onion powder. And then a homemade au jus, which I did with a 1/4 cup of soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of butter in a pan. I will make another set of that, by the way, another batch of that when this is cooked and I'm ready to add it instead of making a ketchup-based sauce. I'm gonna do that au jus again and pour it over. So like I said, if you had just a pure white cheese, a mozzarella would be fine. A Monterey Jack by itself, actually I have been using that recently, it's good. The Swiss, if you don't like Swiss cheese, that's great, you don't have to do it then. So just like this, all I'm gonna do is spray a little bit of whatever this is called on the top. Canola oil spray. And then I'm gonna cut up what looks like an onion that's going bad. Get out of my way. Get into my garbage bowl. And I'm not using a cutting board, but I have fancy ones. So this onion seems to have gone bad, but not all the way through. So all I'm gonna do is cut some thin sliced onions. Here, get off. Just for the top, so it's more decoration. And again, you're kind of getting the aroma of the French onion soup. But you're people who don't like onions, which are a lot of people, are gonna be okay to eat this. Just call it a mushroom Swiss and don't call it a French onion. Okay, so I cut them into just thin slices. Just gonna pop them on top here. So that's what half of a white onion, small white onion. Let me just cut this bit. It's probably not even a full half. It was a small one. I didn't use a large. Yeah, it's probably about 3/4 of a white onion. I don't think it matters. Like I said, it has nothing to do with your recipe. It's for appearance and taste. So that's what it looks like going in. It doesn't really look that appetizing, huh? Putting it in the oven, and it's gonna cook for about. It can really cook as long as you want. The weird thing about meatloaf is like it doesn't really burn, and it can't really get dry. At least in my experience. So maybe I'm just about. I would say leave it in there for about 40-45 minutes. If you have a meat thermometer, those things are cheap. You can get them on Amazon for, I'm sure, $1. I highly recommend having a meat thermometer if you do any cooking. But you probably already know that, and no one's watching. So, hey, I'm going to end the stream because there's no point in sitting around with me for 45 minutes, right, for you. You can leave a comment if you'd like to see the final, and then but no one's going to. Okay, bye.